What's going on? Your boy's back at it again. Drams on deck. Today, we got the bourbon night. We got this right here. Wild Turkey, rare breed. Yes, sir. This particular expression here is what we call barrel proof. So, that means it's about at 58.4%, which is 116.8 proof. I'm going to pour this on his last leg. Figured out how to share this last dram with you all and just kill it. So this particular expression, I haven't had this bottle, believe it or not, that long. I only had this bottle like maybe 3 weeks, something like that. I've been looking to explore more into bourbons, and so I had heard some things about it. I saw it on sale, and so I decided to get it. This one, this particular bottle, I paid, I want to say $43 for. So it was a pretty reasonable sale, as most bourbons usually tend to be less than $100, most of them. Whereas some of the higher end scotches and other whiskeys, like from overseas, like Japanese whiskey and scotch, depending upon the expressions, they may be well over $100. But this one right here was relatively cheap. I got it. I prefer barrel proof when it comes to bourbon. I think it enhances it. I like having the ABV high, and you can play with it when it's that way. You can bring it down to whatever ABV you want. You can add water to it, just bring it down gradually as you see fit. Or if you prefer it neat like me, most of the time I drink it neat. If I do add water, it's just minimal, just to see if it opens up a little bit more. Sometimes certain spirits it does, sometimes it does not. Depends. This particular one here, the rare breed, I haven't heard a whole lot about it, but I did see a couple reviews. It was good things, so I decided to give it a try, and I will give you my honest opinion. So I already formed an opinion because I've been drinking it a bit, but I wanted to share that opinion with you all. And so, Wild Turkey, this is actually my very first time with a Wild Turkey product ever. I never had a drink or a dram from anywhere else. So this bottle is my first and only experience whatsoever with Wild Turkey. They have some other expressions of it, 101, which is very common, which is below this one. And this is a rare breed, and then they have the Eagles rare breed. So I've never had any of those other ones, but I only had only this one right here. So like I said, this is at barrel proof. Just to confirm and make sure, it is 58.4. So it's kind of like where I want my bourbons at. At least 50 and up. Preferably, I prefer not to drink bourbons that's below 50. I'm not saying I won't. I will, but I just prefer, taste-wise, is my history to tell me that the ones at 50 and up, for my particular palate, has been, better tasting and more appropriate for me, 50 ABV or higher. So, on the nose. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not picking up much on the nose. I'm not picking up any major flavors. I wish I could tell you what I'm picking up, but I'm not picking up much. I'm just a small, faint hint of alcohol. Oak and alcohol is what I'm picking up. Usually I pick up more on my nose, but for this one right now, I'm picking up oak. Alcohol is that's all I'm getting. So if you ever had this before, I guess you can nose it yourself, and maybe you may pick up different flavors than I am, as people's palates and noses are different. But for me, this nose, I'm just picking up a little bit of oak and alcohol. That's all I'm getting. So I'm sorry I'm not having more of a sexier ingredients or items to tell you on the nose, but that's just what I'm getting. I gotta be honest, that's just what I'm picking up. So I'm gonna jump on this palate real quick and see what we have on the palate. And that's what I'm saying. See, you just saw me pour this. This bottle at 58%, almost 59%. But I don't, I'm not picking up, like, to me, I guess because I'm more acclimated to it. The alcohol punch I used to get from maybe years ago, I'm not getting as much. So I can see myself slowly acclimating to the barrel proof. I'm gonna jump one more sip before I give you my opinion. And then after the sip, I'm gonna add a little bit of water to it. I'm picking up two things really. I'm picking up oak, a little bit of vanilla. That's what I'm picking up most. And this is a smidgen of honey. Oak, vanilla, honey is what I'm picking up the most and foremost. I like the ABV. I like you get like a little bit of a small alcohol punch, but it's nothing. At least for me. Now I can't speak for everybody. There's some people who's not used to barrel proof. So if you're not used to barrel proof, I can trust and believe you that this will give you more of a lasting punch than it gave me. Only because I'm a little bit more acclimated to it now. But for me, oak, vanilla, and just a little bit of honey. I'm gonna pour just a little bit of water in there, just to see if it changes the complexity at all. I'm gonna go in to see if anything changes with water. And for me, I definitely enjoy my bourbons pretty much, like I said, straight from the barrel, uncut. I like it like that. I've had some in the mid 60s as far as the proof, 65%. So this one right here is under 60, but it still has a nice punch to it. So, but I really enjoy the punch. So I'm gonna add the water just to see if it changes or enhances anything as far as the flavors, unlike anything that was not there before. Added just a little bit. I'm gonna go right in and see if anything changed with the water. I will say, with the water, it did help it a bit. To me, it makes it more viscous. It seems like the water cut it up and loosened up, and my palate seems to be lingering more, slightly more viscous. And I can definitely taste it on the finish. The finish seems to be slightly, just a tad bit more lasting, but it could be because I had my third sip as well. That being said, I would recommend just a little bit of water. You know, try it neat. Always start off with neat, and then you add water to see what your palate tells you, because your palate may tell you something different. Me, just a little bit, minimal amount. So obviously, if you add too much water, obviously that's going to change the complexity of it. But I had just a couple drops, so it wasn't that much. So for you, try it with and without. But to me, it seems like the water helps enhance it a little bit better, make it better, more, like I said, more creamy, more viscous. The flavors are pretty much still the same. Picking up the oak, the vanilla, and a small smidgen of honey as well when I'm picking up on this particular expression. Oh no, I think it's better with water. I seem to be enjoying slightly more with water than without. That being said, it's barrel proof, wild turkey, rare breed. This bottle at 58%. My score on this, 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. I'm only comparing this to other barrel proof contemporaries. So, you know, when I score something, I think I tend to incorporate previous competitors that I've tasted. But be it as it may, this is by itself. I mean, it's okay. I can't say that I'm wowed by this particular expression. It's decent. Why it's wild turkey? If I had to score this, I would give this probably a 6.5. No, 6 or a 6.5. So that's a pretty much average, or slightly above average score. It's decent. Like I said, the thing about it is I don't think it's hard to find. It's pretty affordable. Like I said, 40-something bucks. So I mean, you can maybe even get it as high as 50, but it shouldn't be above 50 for the most part. But I'm comparing this to, just for example, even though technically this is not a bourbon, but the Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof, to me, blows us out of the water, in my opinion. The Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, hands down, blows us out of the water. I think Booker's is better than this, in my personal opinion. So the Stag Junior is better than this. I'm just giving you an example. So for me, that's why I would say a 6, only because but the one thing I'll say about this, the price is relatively good. It's not a bad dram. I mean, I'm not telling you to, but I wouldn't object to someone even mixing this if they wanted to. Be it as it may, it's a decent dram. It's okay. It's affordable. Am I wild? No, I'm not wild. I mean, it's, vanilla, that's cool, but I definitely was not wild by any complexity or anything like that. It's just the average bourbon to me, nothing special. Would I buy this again? Probably not, no. But that's just my opinion. And I'm not saying it because it's bad. So I want to make sure. I'm not saying this is a bad dram. I'm just saying there's nothing special about it. That's what I'm saying. It's okay. It'll do. You know what I'm saying? But to me, there's other bourbons that I've had that I would say, wow, you need to try this. So the ones I just mentioned are far above better than this. It's not even close in my opinion. So it's okay. It's doable. But I purchase again? Probably not. Just because there's other ones that I can get in that price range or, that are probably better in my opinion. That's just my opinion. So I give this a 6. So Wild Turkey, rare breed. Like I said, it's not hard to find. This is a particular barrel proof one. So I don't really see any batch numbers per se on this. So this is just pretty much a rare breed. The other ones and the Wild Turkey may be different, but this particular one is what I'm talking about, rare breed. It's okay, nothing special. It'll do. So that's me. Drams, like to be honest with y'all. I'm not gonna be fake or phony. I'm gonna be real. It's okay, nothing special. That's just honest opinion. So if any other bourbons you would throw out there, let me know in my comment box. Subscribe. Please let me know. I'm I respond a lot to my subscribers and to my viewers. So let me know if your opinions about it, if you feel differently or vice versa. But hope all are well. Hope y'all have a great week. Until then, signing off. Drams on deck.